First, we're joined by Super Bowl champ Chris Canty.
What up, man?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Sir?
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right,
I appreciate
little birthday swag. I see you.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Right.
About those 35 punches you told me you was going to get in.
No, come on, CC. Don't do that, man. I ain't say nothing.
I don't think I could survive one.
No, he laid his
Chris
hands
Canty.
on you.
No,
I
no, they don't think about it. That's for sure. Don't worry about that. We'll take all the guesswork out of that.
Canty, let's talk some Patriots.
God, that got serious quick.
Their all-time leader in points, Stephen Gostkowski, has not been himself this season, missing 4 extra points. Now we know why, probably. New England placed the All-Pro kicker on IR yesterday, as Gostkowski will undergo season-ending hip surgery. Add him to the litany of injuries on this already depleted Patriots roster. Pat safety Devin McCourty knows what this loss means for the team.
He's meant a lot to this team, obviously, for the whole time I've been here. And obviously, you see a lot of that in the record books and all of that, where he has a lot of records for this franchise. But I always speak on how much he means to the locker room. Always keeping it light. He's the best at every little thing and tournament we do in the locker room. So he'll definitely be missed throughout the year of just having his presence in there.
Canty, I've now asked this exact question about the Patriots 3 different times, and all 3 times it ended up being okay. This time might not, though. Will injuries eventually catch up to the Patriots?
Well, I'm not going to say they're going to catch up to them, but it does add to the degree of difficulty in them trying to repeat as Super Bowl champions. That's what it comes down to. The average margin for victory in the NFL is 3 points. So when you have a kicker that makes kicks from 50 or less routinely, I mean, when you're missing him out of your lineup, that takes away from some of the things that you can do in terms of the overall strategy in the game. And that makes it harder for that Patriots offense, because now you're talking about having to drive the ball further in order to get scoring opportunities. So that's the one thing I'm concerned with, especially with the struggles that we've seen from that offensive line and from Tom Brady early on in the season. We're just trying to wonder, or trying to figure out, what the identity of this Patriots offense is going to ultimately end up being. But without having Gostkowski, it takes away from the time that Bill Belichick might need in order to form an identity that this team can utilize once we get to December and on into January.
Yeah, I'm not going to continue to promote the Patriot way and all the things that go into it, and then allow them to miss players and just think that a guy can come off the street and be as intricate to the team. You know, we talked to one of their captains. You heard him right there, said not only on the field, he's a great player, but the things we do in the locker room, the team building exercises, the competition, all these things, he knows how to come to work. And he said, hey, man, he's a funny guy. You need as many funny guys in that locker room in New England as possible, because there are not a lot of guys there that are happy. But in a situation like that where you're working hard and guys can make light of it, it's hard to train guys like that. These other kickers are going to be coming in to try out. They're trying out their ability. Forget about the psyche of them. Can they deal with the pressure situations? Let alone New England, when they have home field advantage. We know what they've done with that. Last year was the first time that they went on the road to be able to go to the Super Bowl in that situation. At home, the kicker knows the wind. He knows in January what he needs to do. He knows the kind of balls they're going to use in practice, all those things. So now, Belichick, does he have to spend extra time with that offensive line? Do I have to spend extra time with the defense because I don't have the coordinator? I lost him to Miami. All these things, Belichick only has the same amount of time as everyone else. So we can't think missing these guys. Andrews, who can't come back. I thought their best offensive lineman. All these things take away from the Patriot way. So whatever team they put on the field in the playoffs, because they will be there, it will not be as good when you don't have all these veteran players who know how to go on a playoff run and know how to win Super Bowls.
In the last 20 years, the New England Patriots have more experience playing without Tom Brady than they do having neither Vinatieri nor Gostkowski.
A question mark at kicker.
Yeah, they had Vinatieri from 96 to 05, and they had Gostkowski from 06 to now. With a brief time, 8 games in 2010 he missed with injury. That's it. That is Vinatieri, maybe the greatest kicker ever, and Gostkowski, who has been a multiple-time all-pro kicker, who is one of the best kickers of this era. Those are 2 guys who are in the top 12 all-time in points in NFL history. So, like, the idea that a team that is built to win with defense and special teams is going to be without its kicker, and it's not a huge problem, I think this is potentially the most substantial injury they've suffered since the David Andrews one. I think this is bigger than the first-round receiver going on IR. I think this is bigger than Isaiah Wynn going on IR again, because there's no Dante Scarnecchia for field goal kickers. You are about to get guys that were on the street for a reason, either lack of talent or lack of confidence. And they have never had a kicker lack confidence since the Belichick-Brady era has been underway.
And I wouldn't be surprised, Canty, if they don't change some of their philosophy offensively. Now, once you get past the 50, do I put that pressure on these other kickers who aren't great kickers? Do I start going for it? All right? So I could see them starting to do that, but man, New England and how they train their players and the system for which they run and doing everything in that locker room, man, his personality is going to be missed. I know his expertise on the field will be missed, Canty.
No, you're absolutely right. And the quality of the replacement level player at kicker is less significant, or is more significant than other positions 100%. On a football team. So when you're looking at the offensive line, you don't have Isaiah Wynn. You can plug Marshall Newhouse in. Scarnecchia can make it all work. But when you start talking about guys that are skilled players to that degree, like a specialist, when you talk about snappers, you talk about kickers, punters, when you're missing those guys, that hurts that third phase of your football team. And one of the calling cards for the New England Patriots has always been they are going to fundamentally out-execute you in all three phases, including special teams. So that's why I have to be concerned a little bit with the Gostkowski part of it, because if you can't be sound in the kicking game, it's going to be hard to win at the highest levels in this league.
And it is the one, those specialist positions are the one that the coach can have the least impact on. You talk about, you lose your left tackle. Well, okay, we'll do a lot of more double tight end set. We'll give him help. We'll figure out ways.
And you have all these years of history of helping people out. This is the only position there is no help unless they decide to go for it and don't put him on the field, which is not building up his confidence.
Exactly right. And so I don't know who the Patriots kickers are going to be. Nobody does. And that is not something we've said in nearly 25 years. And so when you look at how this team is built, and you're right, Jenna, he had missed 5 extra points in his career before this season, where he's missed 4 this year. There was clearly something wrong with him, but he was still making field goals. And I didn't know he was going to be lost to the season with season-ending surgery. This is now, you look at the 2 teams that we thought maybe the Ravens taking a step back, or the other competition in the AFC. Justin Tucker's the most accurate kicker ever. Harrison Butker for the Chiefs is the most accurate kicker in the league since he's come into the league. The 3 best teams in the AFC had the 3 best kickers in the AFC. Now the Patriots have some guy. That's a big deal for a team that's going to try to win grinded out football games.
All you got to do is ask the Chicago Bears the value of a kicker in the playoffs. And then on the other side of the coin, look at what the Rams had with Greg Zuerlein in the NFC Championship game. Kicked the game with a field goal. I mean, that's what you're talking about when you don't have a kicker versus when you do.
2 days ago, I asked you if you were worried about the Patriots offense, and you said maybe a little, but it's okay because their defense and their special teams are just solid. And now there's a question mark at one of those 3. Katie, stick around. Coming up, who has the edge in the Rams-Seahawks Thursday night showdown on Fox? That's next. This is First Things First.